Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we do not want the criminal supporters and their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madden. Moving on to our video. Yeah.
Did you know that Jamaicans invented high tensile steel? To this day, it is used to develop and maintain all first world countries. Guess what group of people stole their invention and destroyed their metal foundries so they could never develop?
Here's one for Black History Month. Did you know that the technology for creating wrought iron that led to the British Industrial Revolution was actually created by African slaves living in Jamaica? The technology was stolen from them by British businessman Henry Court. Once he found out about it, he was well connected with the English government, and once they found out about it, they declared martial law in Jamaica. They destroyed the foundry and took all of the equipment and technology back to Portsmouth, England, along with a lot of the Africans who held that essential knowledge. And this process was valuable. The British government themselves said it was more valuable than the 13 colonies because now we could create metal with high tensile strength that could be used in frame building, for buildings, also for ships and for engine boilers. And just think, what would the world be like today if these folks had been allowed to keep their technology, and how would you ever create reparations for technology that changed every economy in the world?
One of the biggest robber, thief, not because them not convicted on them thing. That all them doing in the world is just go around and rob people. So that's only that to the know. I tell you about you see you had watched the presentation, tell you about Henry Court, a white man from England now, them rob. You saw them everything, Them can't invent nothing, All you see them are going, At pay thief, them thief, Everything about them is thieving. So them rob our ancestors. Yeah, that are my ancestors during slavery. And people them call out martial law. Yeah man, against our people and thief everything from them. That one white man named Henry Court. Who you think that was in collusion with him? The English government. Henry Court, an English iron master of the 18th century, has long been celebrated for his innovations in iron production, particularly the puddling process and the use of groove rollers. These achievements significantly boosted iron manufacturing during the Industrial Revolution. However, recent research showed that these innovations have been appropriated from black metallurgists in Jamaica, raising critical discussions about historical injustices and call for reparation. The Jamaican origin of iron innovations, the late 18th century, a foundry near Morant Bay, St. Thomas, Jamaica, operated by 76 black metallurgists, many of whom were enslaved, developed a method to convert scrap iron into highly quality wrought iron. They ingeniously adapted grooved rollers commonly used in sugar mills to streamline the labor-intensive process of hammering impurities out of iron. This technique not only improved efficiency, but also enhanced the quality of the iron produced. Their innovations was a testament to the metallurgist expertise and resourcefulness, blending African metallurgical traditions with the tools available in their environment. The appropriation by Henry Cart, based in Portsmouth, England, patented a similar iron refining process in 1783, which involved the use of groove rollers. Historical investigations indicate that Court's cousins, John Court, returned from Jamaica in 1781 with knowledge of Jamaica foundry method. It is positioned that through this familiar connection, Henry Court became aware of the innovative techniques developed by the Jamaican metallurgist. Subsequently, he patented these processes as his own without acknowledging the true originators. Collaborators in misappropriation, the transfer of this metallurgical knowledge from Jamaica to England, like he involved several parties. John Court, as Henry Court's cousin, John played a pivotal role by conveying the details of the Jamaican ironworking technique to Henry after his return from Jamaica. British colonial authorities, the colonial administration in Jamaica may have facilitated or turned a blind eye to the extraction of indigenous innovations, prioritizing the economic interests of the empire over ethical consideration. Remember saying white people don't have ethics in most of them, you understand? Remember say a majority of them voted for the Orange Jesus, and Orange Jesus now no God in him, You understand? But nothing no last year, we can tell you that. So industrial beneficiary, British industrialists and the Royal Navy, who stood to gain from improved iron production method, like to support the adoption and patenting that these processes without investigating their true origin. Thief, as usual, pirates. So the call for reparations, the appropriation of the Jamaican metallurgist innovations without recognition or compensation exemplifies the broader exploitation of black ingenuity during the colonial era. The historical injustice has led to calls for reparation, emphasizing the need, acknowledge and educate, recognize the contribution of black inventors and ensure their stories are accurately represented in historical narratives. Financial restitution, provide compensation to descendants of those whose intellectual property was stolen, reflecting economic benefit derived from their ancestors' innovation. I am my ancestor, and my ancestors are me. I need reparation. Me not beg Britain nothing. Me not even like them. That's why me not living in them country, because you understand. But hey, I just saw it go. Institutional reform, implement changes in educational and cultural institutions to address and rectify historical biases, ensuring that future generations understand the true diversity and contributions of global progress. Dr. Sheree Warmington, an expert in development and reparation, emphasizing these issues extend beyond tangible goods. This isn't just about sugar, tobacco and cotton. It's about black intellect and innovation which was robbed from the colonies and used to build the wealth of the global north of today. Addressing these historical wrongs is essential in the broader movement for reparation and justice of black communities worldwide. The story of Henry Cart and the stolen ironworking innovations of Jamaican black metallurgists is yet another example of how colonial powers systematically exploited black ingenuity while erasing their contributions from history. The fact that British industrial progress was fueled in part by stolen black intellectual property is a truth that must be acknowledged, taught and rectified. The 76 black metallurgists in Jamaica who pioneered the use of groove rollers in iron refinement were not just workers, they were innovators, engineers, and scientists in their own right. Yet they were never given credit for their work, while Court and his British collaborators profited immensely from their genius. Thieves, and pretend that they are the ones that did it. The legacy of this theft continues to impact black communities today. While Britain prospered and industrialized, the descendants of those Jamaican metallurgists were left in poverty, denied opportunity, and stripped of their rightful place in history. The Industrial Revolution, often celebrated as a period of great European ingenuity, was built on the labor and suffering and stolen ideas of black people. The case of reparations, as the movement for reparation gained momentum, the call to acknowledgement and compensate for stolen intellectual properties must be part of the conversation. This case is not just about justice for the past, it's about ensuring that black innovators and innovation is valued, organized, recognized, and compensated and present and the future. Educational reforms. The contribution of the black metallurgist must be included in history books, engineering curriculum, and museum exhibition. Public recognition, the names and stories of Jamaican innovators should be honored through monuments, academic studies, and official acknowledgement. This is not something them teach you at Jamaica. The economic restitution, the descendants of those who built British industry should receive financial reparations and economic development initiatives to address the generational harm caused by this theft. Policy changes. Legal system must re-examine historical patterns and recognize in case of intellectual properties theft during colonial rule. For far too long, black history has been rewritten, ignored, or stolen to serve the interests of colonial powers. It is time for a new chapter, one where justice, truth, and reparation restore what was taken. The brilliance of those Jamaican methodologies may have been stolen in the 18th century, but the truth cannot remain hidden forever. Their legacy belongs to Jamaicans, to black people, and to the world. And it's time to demand the recognition and reparation that are long overdue. These are some of the most wicked, evil, and heartless people on planet Earth. So, on a fool always believe that a thief who's unrepentant will repent one day, or a killer, or a rapist, or a murderer. You have to understand that it's genetic in these people's life for them to be evil. You understand? And how they go about doing things. These people are the epitome of evil. They have stolen from our ancestors. They stole them from Africa, brought them to the West, and even to this day they're still stealing, and they still eat us. Although when they must say make America great, it's not them make America great, it's black people from black people, labor, free, and them still eat black people. And guess what? It's a guy who come from South Africa, and him friend him from South Africa. I hope you enjoy the series of this Black History Month. Them can't take it to a federally and say them now celebrate it, but them now stop we not going nowhere. Yes, have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel. Out.